The Global Alcohol Action Plan 2022 to 2030, endorsed by WHO member states, aims to reduce the harmful use of alcohol through effective, evidence-based strategies at national, regional and global levels. The plan outlines 6 key areas for action: high-impact strategies and interventions, advocacy and awareness, partnership and coordination, technical support and capacity building, knowledge production and information systems, and resource mobilization. Implementation of Global Strategy and Action Plan will accelerate global progress towards attaining alcohol-related targets under the Sustainable Development Goal 3.5 on strengthening the prevention and treatment of substance abuse, including narcotic drug abuse and harmful use of alcohol. Music has been a part of human life for thousands of years. Specifically, experts have found instruments dating back to over 40,000 years ago, suggesting that humans' desire to express themselves or communicate through music is deep-rooted. The use of music for therapy and healing dates back to ancient Greece trusted source, but its therapeutic use today began in the 20th century, after World War II had ended. The earliest reference to music therapy comes from a 1789 article called Music Physically Considered. The 1800s saw medical research into the therapeutic nature of music grow, and by the 1940s, universities were offering music therapy programs. E. Thayer Gaston, one of 3 men who pioneered the use of music as a therapeutic tool, had organized and promoted the practice so that it would become an accepted type of therapy. A kitchen utensil is a small handheld tool used for food preparation. Common kitchen tasks include cutting food items to size, heating food on an open fire or on a stove, baking, grinding, mixing, blending, and measuring. Different utensils are made for each task. A general-purpose utensil such as a chef's knife may be used for a variety of foods. Other kitchen utensils are highly specialized and may be used only in connection with preparation of a particular type of food, such as an egg separator or an apple corer. Some specialized utensils are used when an operation is to be repeated many times, or when the cook has limited dexterity or mobility. The number of utensils in a household kitchen varies with time and the style of cooking. Airplanes can be grouped into many different categories. One way of classifying them is by the number of wings they have. Many early airplanes were biplanes, meaning that they had 2 pairs of wings, one above the other. Triplanes were also built in the early days of aviation. Today most airplanes are monoplanes, with 1 pair of wings. Most airplanes take off and land from dry land, but some operate on water. Seaplanes have special landing gear that supports them in the water. Airplanes can also be grouped by their purpose. Airplanes used for military purposes by the armed forces include fighters, bombers, spy planes, troop transports, and tankers that refuel other military planes while in flight. The familiar airliners that carry large numbers of people from city to city are called civil, or commercial, aircraft. Other kinds of civil aircraft carry cargo. Still others are flown by their owners as a hobby. The original source of fire undoubtedly was lightning, and such fortuitously ignited blazes remained the only source of fire for eons. For some years Peking man, about 500,000 BCE, was believed to be the earliest unquestionable user of fire. Evidence uncovered in Kenya in 1981 and in South Africa in 1988, however, suggests that the earliest controlled use of fire by hominids dates from about 1,420,000 years ago. Not until about 7000 BCE did Neolithic man acquire reliable fire-making techniques, in the form either of drills, saws, and other friction-producing implements or of flint struck against parietes. Even then it was more convenient to keep a fire alive permanently than to reignite it. For more than 2 millennia, the articulation and cultivation of joy were at the center of Jewish and Christian scripture, theology, and practices, an articulation and cultivation that in turn was grounded in and evolved over centuries of lived human experience, observation and discernment, Burner, citation 2015, Volf and Crisp, citation 2015. Notwithstanding the importance of joy to human well-being and the deep, ancient religious foundations for understanding and cultivating joy, the very idea of joy has all but disappeared from modern theological reflection, is all but ignored by the social sciences, and is increasingly absent from lived experience. The consequence is a flattening out, a graying, of human life and communities and a sharp bloom of individual and communal dysfunction, Volf, citation 2015.
Of course, many factors sculpt our personalities. Some of it is influenced by our genes. Formative experiences play a huge role, so do the people we hang out with, and ultimately the roles we take on in life, whether at work or in the family. Amidst all these dynamics, it's easy to forget the part played by our names, a highly personal influence imposed on us from birth and that usually stays with us through life, unless we go to the trouble of changing it. As Gordon Allport, one of the founders of personality psychology, put it in 1961, the most important anchorage to our self-identity throughout life remains our own name. From the Internet's origin in the early 1970s, control of it steadily devolved from government stewardship to private sector participation, and finally to private custody with government oversight and forbearance. Today, a loosely structured group of several thousand interested individuals, known as the Internet Engineering Task Force, participates in a grassroots development process for Internet standards. Internet standards are maintained by the nonprofit Internet Society, an international body with headquarters in Reston, Virginia. The Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, ICON, another nonprofit, private organization, oversees various aspects of policy regarding Internet domain names and numbers. While the precise structure of the future Internet is not yet clear, many directions of growth seem apparent. One is toward higher backbone and network access speeds. Backbone data rates of 100 billion bits, 100 gigabits, per second are readily available today, but data rates of 1 trillion bits, 1 terabit, per second or higher will eventually become commercially feasible. If the development of computer hardware, software, applications, and local access keeps pace, it may be possible for users to access networks at speeds of 100 gigabits per second. At such data rates, high-resolution video, indeed, multiple video streams, would occupy only a small fraction of available bandwidth. COVID-19 or coronavirus is a term the world has been uttering for almost 2 years now. The coronavirus disease is an infectious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. Since the birth of the pandemic, the world has shifted to a new normal where masks are the new accessory and sanitizers are used like sunscreens. There is a lot of information out there about the pandemic, but when you are asked to write an article on COVID-19, do not just pick information at random. Instead, try to gather details that would explain the dawn of the virus, the harmful effects, and the precautionary measures to be taken to keep one safe and secure.
Like, share, subscribe the channel, and press the bell icon for further updates.